that's where you're going to click. So just a show of hands, those of you that have used the EBSCO databases before. Oh, no. Okay, good. So we're definitely not in foreign territory here. You will want to click on Academic Search Premier. Now, Academic Search Premier does have things like Time, Newsweek, USA Today, right? So we do have stuff that's not scholarly. So if your instructor has said, absolutely, no question, 2 of those sources must be scholarly peer-reviewed, we can actually, ahead of time, mark that when we search. So look down here, and we're definitely going to want full text, right? We don't want to have to mess around with just abstracts. But scholarly peer-reviewed, so we can say that up front. If we forget to do that, there's time later to do it. So let's do children in poverty again, just to kind of be able to compare and contrast the Google stuff that we did and this stuff. Okay, so children, oh, I didn't spell it right. Children in poverty, no wonder. So you can see already, this one isn't going to be as friendly as Google. What does Google say when you spell something wrong?
Did you mean?
Did you mean, right? And it kind of, it does that somewhat, but not when I completely botch it up like that and put 2 I's in the word in. It just doesn't even know what to do with it. So we've got 1,247 results. So already we're talking about big differences in terms of scope, right? Many fewer articles to look through, much more reliable. And again, these are full text and scholarly peer reviewed, right? So you can see academic journal. If I take that off, let's see what the difference is. So all I needed to do there was to click on that and then click update. You see we also have access to a timeline. If this is a subject where date is very important and you know you only want things from 2005 to 2012, then you can go in there and select that. So when I took off scholarly, I popped up to 2448. Now usually it is going to list the academic journals first, but then like right here we have an example. Congressional Digest, okay, that's a periodical. It's not peer-reviewed, but it's probably a good source, okay? So the great thing about EBSCO is you can hold your mouse over the actual kind of little icon that shows you the article, and you can, let me just show you this one more time. It's not showing up that well on this screen because I have such a small screen. But what it's doing is it's giving you the abstract. So if you want a quick way to look at the abstract but not have to click yet again and look at the full article, you can just see the abstract and see if it's going to be useful. Okay, so that's one little trick there. The next thing you want to do, once you get in there and you look at it, remember we're seeing right here full text, so we're good on that. We've got all of the information that we would need, you know, for our citation. And are you guys using APA?
No, I don't require either.
Okay, either one is fine. That's good news because EBSCO will do both. Okay, EBSCO will actually make the citation for you. So the other thing I kind of like is that it gives you all of these other possible subject headings that you could look at, okay, to maybe start to combine things. So you can start thinking in those terms. Here's your abstract, and this goes right into the full text. Now the trick in EBSCO, if you want to save an article, again, we're going to be using email again, you need to add it to your folder. So every time you go into EBSCO, think of your very first step as you're just walking around there finding the most looks relatively useful. Don't even worry about it too much yet. Put as much as you want into that folder. You can always go back later and decide what you want to use and what you don't want to use. So sometimes you're just kind of roaming around there saying, oh yeah, this one looks really good. Ooh, nice tables, images, okay, awesome. You can just literally run through here and add them to your folder, okay? So that is the trick, add to folder. Now once you've done that, you want to go right up to the top here, under folder, okay? And let's see what we've got in here. So we've got academic journals, we've got 3 academic journals there. Let me go back one more and see if I can grab one of those periodicals. So you can go back and forth, doesn't matter, you could start your search again, whatever you need to do. There's my periodical. So, and in some cases, again, depending on the type of research that you're doing and the instructor's guidelines, really a periodical or a non-scholarly source is going to be useful as well, okay? It's not that they're not useful, it's just that sometimes you will have actual stipulations that say you have to have scholarly and peer reviewed. So here we've got our folder. Remember, all I did was I clicked at the top on folder, and now I'm going to show you the #1 reason to, hang on, #1 reason to use EBSCO, and that is right here. You are going to email yourself these articles, and so let's do it this way. I mean, you don't have to email it to your student account or anything. This is wherever you're going to keep most of your research, okay? So we're going to type poverty here. Maybe while I was doing research, I thought, oh yeah, I got to remember to look up UNICEF, right? You know, if you want to just make a note to yourself about other places to look. Right here is where you absolutely, positively cannot skip this step, okay? All I did was I clicked on citation format, and I've got APA, I have 2 forms of Chicago, I have MLA. Those other ones I've never even heard of, I don't know. But you will see here at CCA, you'll see APA, Chicago, and MLA in a variety. Yeah?
How does Google Scholarly compare to this? Have you had any experience using it?
Yeah, we actually talked about it before you got in.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's awesome, it has great stuff. Where you might hit a wall is that it'll say you have to pay for an article, but that's when you email me. Google Scholar will not make your citation for you, so there's another benefit, definitely. But Google Scholar is definitely indexing and looking at many more journals than EBSCO has. Yeah.
But what is that one website where you can like take the title from the article on Google Scholar, or not Google Scholars, but on EBSCO host, and it'll cite it for you? Do you know that website?
Are you thinking about, well, there's a few. There's Nightsite.
No, not that one.
Noodlebib. You guys have access to Noodlebib if you purchased that DK handbook at CCA. You actually have a MyCompLab code in that. So Noodlebib, EasyBib, Nightsite.
Purdue.
It was easy.
Purdue.
Yeah,
Purdue Owl is great.
Yep.
I am not a huge fan of the citation generators because they screw it up usually. Even EBSCO will screw it up sometimes. So the truth is that your best bet is to always go and double check, and this is on your back. I just Google Owl Purdue, and you'll find it. It's the Purdue Online Writing Lab. Okay?
Megan, you can also do APA.com.
Oh, nice.
APA, if you're using APA.
Okay.
I don't know about MLA, but APA.
Right on. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and Purdue Owl has all 3. They have Chicago, APA, and MLA. Okay. So our email has been sent. So we should be in good shape. But hang on. First, I'm actually going to ask you guys your next question. Whoops, wrong one. But before we do that, let me ask you this quick question. We'll go to next, number 4. Oops. Okay. Hold on, I'm wrong. Again, it's not the technology, it's the human. Hold on. My bad. Okay, there we go. Okay, all journal articles. All journal articles in our databases.